And if there's ever a time where things are going to go a tad pear-shaped,
The Fiora game.
Yeah, substantially. God, we locked in that Oriana.
Yep.
Okay, that's not the Fiora game. Let me find the Fiora game because I want to watch the Fiora game again and analyze that.
Is around the 38 minutes.
Then Fiora on.
That's a Fiora game. Okay, we got it. Nif went to coach, yeah. Puppet, do you think that it's better be playing on a role that you're good on or on a role that you like more? Well, if you like more, it's easier to pick it up, my friend, because you can spam it more. See the logic? In my opinion, Promiscue is a good player, but every game he got caught. Yeah, he got caught at the enemy blue buff. Yeah, that's true. Yo, hey, FX Gaming, how you doing? We're going to analyze now a few games. Alright. So let's see. Let's see. So yeah, my friends, don't worry. Yeah, you can always ask some questions on the chat. Don't worry, it's all fine. I'm gonna answer them all. And ich kann, okay, du kannst auch Fragen auf Deutsch stellen, die werde ich auch beantworten. Don't worry, aber heute ist halt Englisch. Ne? Also Mittwoch ist der Tag, wo ich nur Deutsch mache. Alright, so I guess like we have a few games to watch, and yeah, if you miss something, you can always find my content on my YouTube channel. I upload there the VODs, so it's easy for you to find if you want to watch something again. And of course, you can send me your replay, because I do a show where I simply take your replays and analyze it for you and put it in on my YouTube channel. So you can actually send me your replays to the email I just showed in the chat, and you can now choose the series, the game we're gonna watch. And it is EDG versus IG game 3 or LGD versus QG game 2 now. So eu tenho que ainda ler, cara. Eu não cheguei a ler, mas deixa eu ver agora. It's fine, it's fine. Yeah, yeah, that's the same as going to and want to, but that's like American slang, so don't copy it from me. I'm just too used to that and can get it away. It's like just the same thing, but okay, so everybody wants to see the Fiora, I guess. So let's see. Oh, someone for EDG key. Oh man, we can't have a tie. Like then I have to use a dice or something. Oh man, that's gonna be rough. Oh boy. So I think it's gonna be EDG EG. So you guys ready? Alright, so we're gonna have EDG versus IG game 3 first. Alright. Alright, so let me just post something here. Alright, let's go.
Let's get back into the draft. Now, EDG swapping back to the blue
So,
side.
let's see how they actually react to this, because I think that EDG and IG had both very, very shaky problems in the games. The first two games I watched. Actually, IG looked a bit better and more coordinated, where EDG actually more outplayed, and Amazing J actually played out of his mind, carrying the team. And both teams actually showed some flaws early game, so it was some kind of difficult sometimes for both teams. And actually more, the team that had actually more clear paths is IG, actually, in terms of warding and controlling and playing actually a decent game. So basically, what we're gonna look at is how well can actually Amazing J do in the series, because from what I've heard, he carried the whole series, like he was playing out of his mind. And what you need to know about that, Amazing J is actually the sub top laner. The starting top laner is actually Core 1, but they subbed in Amazing J for the series, and because he adapted better to the patch, and it's 5.16, you need to know that, so it's 5.16, so we can expect a lot of Skarner coming up here. And as of right now, we have actually very, very standard picks with Fiora and Lulu and Elise Braum, so it's very, very common picks right here. So actually, it's a wonder actually that we didn't see a Kog'Maw yet, because actually, if you watch the playoff games, until this point, everybody was picking like Kog'Maw first picks, taking away from each other, banning it from each other, and so it's actually really fun. But we're gonna see in this game a very funny combination of Fiora from Amazing J and Clear Love Skarner. You need to know that's post-hotfix Skarner, so it is less broken than it was on the first patch. So that's all I can say as a background right here. So we're gonna watch how well they do, except what you have to keep in mind, that is the regionals. So EDG got only third in the playoffs because they failed to win against QG, and that's basically the point where Edward Gaming has to win to get to Worlds. So that's the background right here. So they're playing with a lot of pressure, and of course, so let's see how well they do. And how well can Def do actually, because in the series of QG in the playoffs, they played actually underwhelming, so they were really underperforming. So they have actually something to prove here, because EDG was clear the favorite through the whole split to win actually the thing. So yeah. So let's see. The comps are actually pretty standard right now, at least in terms of Invictus game. They're going for the Protect Kog'Maw with Braum, Elise, and Orianna. Interesting is that we're gonna see the Alessandro top lane now. So they have actually a fairly squishy lineup. So Kakao has to go Cinderhook right here. It's like being forced to that. And so that's gonna be interesting how this turns out. I don't know how well the matchup Fiora Lissandra goes. It should be better in the early laning phase for the Fiora. For the Lissandra, but I don't know how well she is going to be able to split push against the Fiora, because I doubt it. So when Fiora hits 2 item stats, Lissandra will be even close to able to split push properly against Amazing J's Fiora. So let's see. It will be also a lot about Clear Love this game, or in Kakao, how well they can snowball that early game, because mid lane will be a farming lane, but top lane will be like who snowballs better, and bot lane who gets well first. Because I mean, if you are IG, you have like actually a fairly weak bot lane. Kitties and Kid haven't been performing that well in the season. So you might want some pressure from your jungler there, because Deft and Neko have been outplaying like almost everyone in the lane already. So you actually have to take care about those guys too. So where will be Kakao going, because this will be a very, very interesting factor. And who is the better jungler, by the way? That's also a good question. So let's see. So fairly safe starts. Nobody wants to really risk anything. Both teams have actually fairly weak level 1s. Like at least EDG has a good stun from any, where IG only has Braum CC, because you don't want to start with the E, of course, with Elise. I know it's not an insta-lose if Elise doesn't gank. It's not an insta-lose, but he should be trying to stop Fiora at least from snowballing this game as hard as possible. Interesting is that we have like lane swap and both teams lane swapped, and of course like any has a kill. They have actually fairly good kill potential in this game, so they could be doing something. Like they could be trying to get some damage and force Kog'Maw to back or to burst the flash kind of early in this lane, because if you go for trade and you get some damage out of us Twitch, even in the early game you can do some interesting damage. Of course it can go both ways, because if the Q and Braum stun lands, you might be in some problems as well. Alright, let's see. So interesting is the clear pass. So is that they automatically like force the action bot lane. So Kakao did this already. So we got some pressure on Amazing J. So he'll be a bit under pressure right now, because Kakao is there like all the time. They want to force the dive. They can dive really well, so they time it really well. So oh, the parry was really good. The parry was really good, and yeah, he could almost turn around because of this mechanical thing from the Fiora. So that's something that you have actually to take care when you do this. Let's take a closer look, because this is very interesting. They time it also very, very good. So ZZTai is waiting. We had yesterday a game where something like that didn't happen, so they timed it really properly, and he actually didn't parry anything. So he didn't parry a spell, at least. So if he indeed parried a spell, he could have actually gotten a kill there. So he didn't play around the cooldowns that well, because they already burst the spells down. So if he actually parried one of the Qs, he would have lived actually there, because of the damage parried. But that's something. So let's see what else we have here. They switched back. That's interesting. So actually, is EDG trying to like force drakes, or like they're simply trying to force rotations, I guess, and or feed some farm into Amazing J actually, because they gave actually a fairly huge wave to Amazing J there, and since they forced rotation, they not only lost some farm and XP in that, but they also but they gained at least the Drake pressure. So actually IG has to answer it. That's why they are backing off right now. They will also lose some XP with that. So actually still fairly well played from EDG, from taking the best out of this, because they're just like playing a cat and mouse game here, trying to force IG to rotate around to first delete some pressure from Kakao's Elise, so he can really find that ganks easily, which is very important. And of course to make it easier for Amazing J actually to farm. So that's what they are looking for, and this was really well played from EDG, and a bit greedy from ZZTie there. So that's something that you need to take in account. They are actually just forcing rotations from EDG so they can find farm for Amazing J. So they're just trying to release him from the dive pressure that top lane from Lissandra and Elise will have on him. So basically that's the plan all along. So we now know why did ZZTie want to play the Lissandra. Not only is she good early game because she can poke and siege against the Fiora, but she can also dive very well with the Elise. So basically that was the plan all along. So they wanted to go for dives on the Fiora to delay the power spike of the Fiora. So that's very interesting. So that's the how EDG is trying to answer it, by rotating and lane swapping all around, because as long as they go for the dual lane, Amazing J will maybe lose some farm, or even the bot lane like Def and Mako might lose some farm and XP, but still they are not letting Elise and Lissandra get in the position to even dive the Fiora, which is fairly good. So all along, like they have an even mid lane, they are a little slightly behind in gold because of the farm they lost a little bit. So that's still fine, because like the difference is not even 500 gold, so it's basically non-existing. And let's see. Oh, look at this. They are now turning everything around here on top lane. They not only have all the ward coverage they need actually here to do such kind of a play, so they know there is no one coming around, or they don't expect anyone around because they see them pushing bot lane, so they might even think or like try to predict the Drake because of the Elise pick. They could actually do that, and they can simply force and trade the turret, which is fine for them. But the problem is with that, they aren't really defing the tier 2. So if they had some wards here in the bot side jungle, they could actually pressure more the turrets. And if they want to go for the risk, or like Elise would go there to them, they could actually take it fairly easy. But I think IG will live with the advantage because they got like a tower trade plus a Drake. So they are definitely in the advantage. Maybe not in gold, but in general, like having the first Drake is always good. So that's not bad. So let's see. Any item power spikes? Not yet. Kog'Maw is only a zeal away from Trinity Force, so they might want to use that soon. Pawn's missing a lot of Qs, so he's losing not only on trading, but he can't really contest the siege because of not having a blue buff yet. And again, I think this Witcher runs is really interesting. Like, they're just, and the thing is, I just like a simple play then with them. Like they could try actually to the things like, oh, okay, I didn't expect this. Let's take a look. Okay, Deft goes in, stealth, beautiful CC chain. They see the center coming, the TP is already in there. Kid is dead. So now they're gonna have to focus ZZTie. Def might die on the ignite. Yeah, Hugh. But still, I think that's something that they baited. Maybe they baited it out with rotating the Fiora back to the top lane. So they actually thought like, oh, alright, Fiora's back, so we can actually do some play. So they were actually setting up for something. And actually it was only a bait for the red. Which is really interesting how EDG actually played it out. So I'm trying to understand how did they come from these ideas, but it's so different from what we see in the West or even in Korea. They do so different. They play things so different that they have a completely different thought process in terms of how they play the strategies out. So it's really fascinating, but they are playing it out very well. And Deft is doing an amazing job on this Twitch. He's getting the damage down. Really, really good. Really, really good. So let's see. I guess from the item spikes, the next Drake will be actually fairly contested because everybody should be on one item at least, except maybe for the Fiora. An early Aegis from the Skarner, which is really good because they have like 3 AP picks, and Kog'Maw has still some hybrid damage, so that's fine. Like, that's really, really good. Even with the Trinity Force, he will have actually a fairly good amount of magic damage, so EDG is building, Clear Love is building very smart that way. So they actually could fight them in the next Drake, because they have actually fairly good magic resistance, even on Lulu with the teens. So it will be more about what can Amazing J do to either take pressure from them, like force ZZTie to be top, because they don't have a TP to play with. So, or he will like force him to be there, or he will force him to teleport, like the team will force him to teleport, so he actually can take turrets. So they have these 2 options right here. They can actually give the Drake for IG and split push, take turrets with the Fiora pick, and or simply delay it. So they will have to get vision right now on the Drake, like they are starting to do right now. They will have to get some decent vision there, so they don't give it for free, because you still don't have your teleport up. So you have to at least get 20 more seconds to play with right now, simply to be able not only to set up a good wave on top to split push, like forcing the Discerner to come, like they are doing right now, but also to simply have the TP to answer it in case they might go for it, and you can actually contest it, because you should be able to contest with the pick of Twitch, Lulu, and Annie. So basically you can just flash in Tibers that you have up right now, and stealth in with the Twitch. So you could be able to do some decent one combos there, which should be fine for you. But they didn't manage to do that, because, let's scroll back, if you didn't notice, they pushed up the bot lane. So Deft had to rotate, so someone had to go there, take the farm. In this case it needed to be Deft, so they didn't have the most important man to actually do some kind of play. So that was well played from IG, like understanding what they can do to avoid the Drake fight, which could have of course gone in the favor from EDG in this case. So if you self in as a Twitch and do the one more combo, like I said, like a flash in Tibbers Annie and then the insta follow-up ult from Lulu, you can actually get a lot of time and damage out with the Twitch rat-a-tat. So that's a very good strategical outplay from IG right there. So they managed to outcome and force EDG strategy to be delayed in this case, which is really good. Which is really, really good. So let's see. Item spikes, I guess everybody, both AD carries will wait for the 2 item spikes. The 2 item spikes on Twitch is a bit bigger, but for that the item spike on Kog'Maw on 3 items will be bigger, and from there. So you have to really take care, because if you want to play Twitch, you need to get team fights where you can abuse your rat-a-tat and E damage, like passive damage. So that's how you win the team fights as a Twitch in this case, because in terms of damage and standard team fights, the Kog'Maw will win from 3 items above, and of course also well on levels. So you have to be looking for cheesy kind of fights and really want to combo them. Like play a lot with the stealth, find the right fights, right targets, pick something off, something like that. And that would be actually really good if you think so, that you can actually simply pick someone off, or wave clear with Lulu, and even in case you need it with the rat-a-tat, and play on the split push. Because if you wait like a few more minutes, like 5 to 10, your Fiora will be winning that matchup top lane really, really badly. Really, really badly. So either they do something on the map, or they will start having to actually having to pressure the top lane much heavier. So what you need to do right now as IG, like, you need to start setting up for plays and not getting caught like that. That's what I mean. Like, the stealth plays, they can like win this game right here, and this is like perfect, exactly the example that you need, because he stealths in. Of course, there's a Braum shield, yeah, but he's doing a lot of damage already. The flash from any to get the stun out is perfect, and they got a kill, and they are ready to answer everything else as well. So they will get deft. But Zizitai just burned everything. He burned flash, he burned ultimate, he has E on cooldown, he has the Q and W on cooldown, so that's an easy kill as well. So basically, they not only force everything from the bot lane, but also from the top lane to get something. So they can easily get it disturbed if they want to, because Kog'Maw will have to back. So the only guy that can actually try to wait for something would be Rookie, but you of course don't want to stay there. Plus he has a tier, so he doesn't have even the damage to simply do 1 Q and W to wave clear. So he will need a bit more damage to do that. So basically that was really, really well played from EDG, and as I said, like, the cheesy pickoffs with the stealth will be key to win this game. Because right now, if you look at the items, the Fiora just finished a Tiamat before the fight, so she will start dealing a lot of damage right now. So that's the point where Fiora starts outscaling in the 1v1 scenario. So even getting more gold because of the assistance she got this fight, it's even better. So now key, I guess, will be for EDG to get maybe a bit more aggressive vision, so they can start snowballing that game really heavily, because they are now on the point where they can win the game off of doing pickoffs and split pushing. So this was a huge turning point. So let's see. Interesting is that that IG has actually been able to avoid Renowned fight under jungle, or at least the crystals from Skarner, actually, because you want to force fights in this case when you play Skarner, so you can get even more damage out. But EDG has been like having a lot of control when it comes to bot lane side of the own jungle, and IG has been able to avoid that kind of things. So that's the thing right now. They are getting already Drake done, no vision at all from IG, because EDG, I mean, because IG cleared it all. Interesting is that IG has no vision for that on Baron, so EDG has been focusing a lot more resources in the top lane, so they gave 3 Drakes already for free. And because the only wards they have in bot lane are 3 pink wards here. Why do they have them? Okay, it might sound like, yeah, they are good, they're defensive wards, but the only reason they have them is because of deft. So he can actually legit stealth in without being seen by anything. So they use it for that, but there's no other use, and maybe you should be able to group up and set the ward so you can actually start contesting those objectives, because IG will win if you let them have the 5 Drakes, because you won't be able to actually get to kids Kog'Maw in this game if you let them have the Drakes. So basically they can simply do a front, like 3-man front on around him, and then Zizitai can simply flank and maybe get Deft or Mako or even Amazing J really easily in the team fights. And they could even combo that with the Orianna from Rookie, with the shield and then ults. So you actually want to avoid that they get into the situation. So right now, okay, you had to give up 2 Drakes, But this third one didn't have to be. Like this third one they could have actually contested if they set grouped up and set up the vision properly. So let's see. But they are like this is something that I am not understanding from EDG, because in the other games they did the same as well. Like they like to have this stacked vision on the river or small places like here, but they don't expand it into the jungle entrances or the jungle. Like you're playing a Fiora split push, or in this case even a pickoff comp that can do really good pickoffs, and you're not really getting the deep vision. So they like to play that so safe that they are actually hindering from going for the snowball that they actually can go. So I don't know if they struggle as a team to simply group and go for this vision, or they really want they really like as a team to play the safe style. Let's take vision in the river, let's control the river and let's force fights there where the other team will be forced to go blindly into the games and the fights, and that's really good by Deft. Oh man, Deft has been playing the series amazing. He has been finding the fights with Twitch. That's remarkable. Again, this one, like he's finding the fights with the stuff really, really well. So, Dressing says Carter doesn't have a side stone. Like at least ball a side stone, so it's 27 minutes, and Skarner still doesn't have a side stone. And actually, you want to counter by that side stone. You actually need to be fair. So Amazing J is still behind, so you need to be careful as well. Like even though you're spiking right now because you actually have the item you need to start dealing damage, but Lissandra from Zita is still so far ahead on you that I might have to take care. So it will take a lot of effort for EDG again, like Deft is finding the fights. So to be able to force those fights even more and even harder to get objectives out, because these fights from these pickoffs from Deft have been really good, and they're getting a lot of it. Yeah, as you can see, like he's making the Twitch work the way it needs to work, and that's something that you have to coordinate a lot with your team, and it's really hard to play actually. And they need to start forcing the situations, get the wards down so you can actually force objectives, because if they get another Drake IJ, then you're gonna be in a very bad spot as EDG here. And they're not doing it. It's so interesting. They are not warding the enemy jungle. Like it feels almost that they fear it to go in there. Even as a team, they really don't want to do that. And that's so strange. Because otherwise they won't be able to really contest this Drake. Because at the moment they get a pickoff done, and they're not getting this Drake either. But maybe they can fight. Okay. Amazing J. That was beautiful. That was beautiful. So let's look at it again, because this was really good. The positioning and timing that he took. So the TP was really great, so they could actually turn it around. So the timing was perfect. But look at this. He found kitties and Kid. They had to burn summoners, and Kid also had to burn, like, I don't know if it was QSS or Mikaels from kitties. I can see it right here. But look at this. They are having to back, so they got the Drake. They can even push mid and take some damage on the tier 2 if they don't misplay this now. Def could be going really, really dangerous spots. But, well, it worked. But it wouldn't have worked if Rookie had landed his QW on him. But this is amazing. Hello, Iago. Come vai, amigo. This is really good, man. Deft is carrying so hard this game. Like they have the first ever ward Jeep in their channel right now. Tá muito bem, tá tudo bem comigo, meu amigo. Que analisando um bom joguinho de LOLzinho. It's really interesting, man. So let's look in terms of items. You have the items you need on Oriana to wave clear. And that's a really interesting thing that the Chinese are do a lot in general against the Skarner pick and the Danny pick. They built QSS even mid laners like really early. So it wasn't Mikhail's, it was a QSS that burned there. So they do this fairly early to avoid any kind of risk getting picked off. But since Deft is playing out of his mind and like finding the picks, finding the damage as and these things like with ease and forcing actually IG to retreat or even take the fights or like that, like force to go 4v5 there. Sadly, you have one problem as a Skarner, you can be cut out so easily. But let's look at this because this will be really good as soon as they get into the fight. Because Mako has actually a very good positioning here to, yeah, and got 2-man stun. So the thing is, how can they follow up? Because now Amazing is in there, he gets the ultimate, but they're not getting on the Kid, so Kid's still doing free damage, Rookie's still doing free damage, they're going on Kakao, so that's not really what you want. So Kakao and Kitties are having a very good positioning there, so they are denying it. So now Mako gets caught. Oh man, this stun. Oh boy, it feels like scripted because this it seems like he planned it all along, going into their front and then simply baiting them in to do this outplay. This is wow. Like Mako almost won a team fight for them. Almost won their team fight, but they didn't get any kills, sadly. Like who are the heroes of the team fight are definitely Kakao and Kitties, because they positioned so well together that nobody could get to Rookie and Kid, so they could actually do a lot of free damage. While Mako actually almost outplayed them 2 times by himself. Oh, will they do it? Oh damn. Oh, Deft. Like, oh man, Deft and Pawn. Oh man, this is so good. This is so good. Like this is how you need to play Twitch. Like you need to be really ballsy. You need to be really ballsy and like try to go for the cheese. And he's like kiting and positioning himself really well that they're not able to really go for him. Okay, and now they just baited out the cleanup on Pawn. So that was amazing. That was really well played. Yeah, and that was the Baron for them. And probably also one inhibitor, or even the win if they get a fight in their advantage. Like very good fight in their advantage. So we have now the 3 item spikes on both mid laners. We have now some magic resistance on the top lane for Amazing J. Oh man, amazing! Like this is so balls steep. How they go there and into the turrets? Like they don't care. They simply go. but they know they actually can go like that since they've booked them down, they are fairly sure they can do that. So they're just outplaying IG, like they're finding the way to get their strategy through, like the whole game. But they're getting now some really good vision in the bot side jungle of IG, so they actually can finish it off. Yeah, like that. Yeah, but they won't get more out an inhibitor. No, not even that. They don't even want to continue. So I think they will live with the kill and the turret. They could have actually at least farmed the wave into the inhibitor turret, then went back. But it's fine. That's fine. The goal difference now are so huge on every lane. Oh man. Hey Yono, nice to see you here, bro. So let's see. I actually got Cocoon. So what EDG wants to do is actually force 2 lanes on pushing and create some vision like they have now on the top side jungle of IG. And lurk there with Skarner, Annie, Lulu, and Twitch, and bait them into going to for the Fiora and just get in the pick off. That's all they want to do and all they need to do to win this game. So they're gonna push out the bot lane. Ah, man, I can stop yawning. I'm sorry for that. And simply go for the pickoffs, because they can split. They're gonna win the 1v1s on top lane. So I guess they were just trying to do that until Baron Drake is up again. So they're sending now Amazing J on the bot side of the map, so they have more pressure on the map, because Amazing J can easily TP to anywhere on this map, and basically with having him in bot lane, they can contest that easily to stop him. So that's fairly good, fairly good. So let's see. Will he cheese it out? No, they won't. They can't. They can't really fight in that close space because of the Orianna ults. But Amazing J is doing so much work. Now they have to. I don't know. Like I don't know what they are waiting for. They have to wait for so long right now that cost them the Baron. They could have actually done it. Now they have to wait. So what they have to do now is wait and bait a situation where Amazing J can TP and clean up. That's all they like. If they can do this, then they win this game. But that's what they need to do, right? So it's much easier said than done. So let's see how well they do. Yeah, there's a TP, there's a 3-man stun. like ZZTai is gonna pick off, and wow, the shockwave from Rookie was fucking good there. Wait, want to see this in slow-mo. Okay, so now you have here the 3-man stun from Mako. Thank you for the follow. Then the TP in, you just turn around into ZZTai. Like I don't think Clear Love needed really to do the ultimate here, because you can burst ZZTai down. So it could have actually waited a little bit longer with that, since he was ulting, and you can stop the ultimate. So Rookie, who is doing free damage, Kid's doing free damage. Like the fact that they focus there, ZZTai and again Kakao and Kitties were zoning really good, and it's like cost them the fight there, and I think so also the game. Hey Blink. Really well played actually. Still, the game was really good. I think like here our friends from EDG could have actually forced much more in their spike. As of right now, like they didn't force things well enough in terms of abusing their advantage. So they could have gone deeper and more aggressive, to simply force more fights and pickoffs. Happens, Yono, happens. So it will be really hard for for EDG to hold this off actually. But again, depends a lot on how Dev makes this Twitch works, because this comp is like on how much can actually Dev make this Twitch works. And that has been doing he has been doing really well on it, but they could have done a lot more as a team with that. But IG is playing this really defensively, which is also very good. And now they're just gonna abuse that Baron and the mid lane push from the super minions. They don't need to do much, then simply group and be like a 4-man frontline for the AD carry, the Kog'Maw, and that's what they're doing, just peeling off anything, turning things around. They can finish it off, but they got some damage, and we'll get probably the turrets if they decide to stay there. Okay, decide not to. They could have tried, but it is risky. And you don't need to go the risk right now, so that's why they decide to back off, which is totally fine, in my opinion. But this is actually the point where you can actually turn it around as EDG, so you can still like find the fight you want. So let's see. Ah, there is a pick we needed. There's a pick they needed. So from this they can actually push so hard that they can at least delay the timings on the inhibitor respawn. So that's already really good for them. Ooh. Oh, that was a slightly position mistake from Deft, because I don't know if he didn't see that he was sitting on the ball, or it just didn't react in time, and this could have cost the whole thing. But again, this is probably the game. They should be able to finish it off with the Fiora and the Skarner, because they have a good bunch of attack speed, and of course, yeah, that's game, and that's well played from EDG, because they almost lost it, but turn it back around. So I would say well played, and we could learn a really good things. So actually with the slight new Twitch buff, we could actually see even more Twitches, because it's only like Imp and Deft and BRTT that have been playing Twitch all around the world. So we could actually see 3 Twitch players playing Twitch after the buffs, which would be really good. Actually, really, really good. So you can, as always, ask questions in the chat if you have any, and yeah, we're gonna do a